Hello everyone, how's it going? Today we're going to talk about how you can get motivated to reach your walking goals. We're going to discuss 5 tips that can make it more interesting and realistic. And then toward the end of the video, we're going to discuss what we can do when the weather is not cooperating. If that sounds interesting to you, then keep watching. So what about those 5 tips? Well, the first tip would be to set a realistic goal for yourself. It is recommended that adults get 150 minutes of physical activity each week. That would be of moderate intensity. Works out to be about 30 minutes per day, 5 days a week. And they also recommend 2 days for strength training. However, if you're new to exercise or you're trying to just get back into a routine, it might be more realistic for you to start with 5, maybe 10 minutes per day of walking and try to work your way up to that 30 minutes per day. It could really be motivating when you think about it because just small doses of walking are so helpful to our physical and mental health. Just getting up for a few minutes really improves our circulation and it can really boost our mood. Number 2, something that's become very popular with those who are health conscious, is to wear a fitness tracking device. I actually tried this recently. My husband had an old smartwatch he was no longer using since he had purchased another one. And I was really amazed at how encouraging it was to see how many steps I was taking per day. And it had other features too that I didn't think I was going to like, but it actually would give you like alerts for when you got an email, a phone call, or a text, which was pretty helpful to me because I don't keep my phone with me every second. So sometimes I would miss a call. I wouldn't get it right away, but you can just glance down and see real quick if it's something you need to take care of right away or if it's something that can wait. So if you like a lot of features, you want to track a lot of health data, you may want to invest in a smartwatch because it does have many different features that you can benefit from. Tracking the heart rate, monitors the pace, can alert you to the text emails. It can even track your stress, your sleep. It can actually keep track of your fitness activities via GPS. You just would sync them with your phone or your other Bluetooth devices, and then you can do that. But there's some fitness trackers that are more basic that you can get that just record the steps and the heart rate. Or if you want to get real basic, you can actually just purchase a pedometer, which would just be a step counter. But I found one recently that had a nice large display, which I really like because it's nice when you're not having to strain to look at small numbers. So if you think you might find those helpful, check out the links below if you're interested in purchasing those. Number 3, it could be helpful to have a walking buddy. One of the reasons that could be helpful is that if you schedule a time to walk with someone, you're not going to want to disappoint them. So you're more likely to keep the appointment and not miss your walking session. But also it could be a lot more fun and interesting if you have somebody to talk to as you're walking. It helps you to forge a closer friendship, and you really feel good because you're helping someone else to reach their health goals. Now, before we move on to point number 4, I'd like to just ask you to please like and subscribe if you're enjoying today's video. I appreciate that. So number 4 is to try to pick a good time of day. Now, there are some people who say they like to get up early, get started, get everything going. They're early birds. Well, not everyone is like that. There may be certain reasons why early mornings are not good for you. Perhaps you're too busy or you didn't sleep well. But if you can find a time of day where you know you're going to have a lot of energy, less distractions, less chance of just totally missing your walking session, that would be the best time of day to select. And that might take some figuring out, but definitely that could be a big help. Number 5 is to try to vary the place and the pace. You know, some people get a little tired of walking around their neighborhood. But you can change up the route, try going down different streets each time. Some people like to take time to visit a park occasionally, or maybe even visit another neighborhood. Makes it a little bit more interesting. Now, varying the pace also makes it interesting. I know sometimes I like to use landmarks. I will say, okay, for the next 3 or 4 mailboxes, I'm going to really pick up the pace. Or maybe for the next 2 light poles, and then go back to your regular pace, and then just keep switching back and forth. Kind of makes it more interesting and more challenging. Okay, so what about if we have bad weather? We don't want to skip a walking session, so what I love to do is be able to do a workout at home. There are so many really nice videos, workout videos on YouTube. I actually put a couple below that are some of my favorites. especially for those over 50. So you might want to check those out. Another thing you could do is purchase a treadmill. I found that some of them were very reasonably priced, and they don't take a whole lot of room in your house because most of them have the ability to fold up, and they can actually track or monitor your heart rate, the distance traveled, the calories, and your speed. Most of them do allow you to adjust the speed and the slope, so that makes it a little bit more interesting and more challenging. Some people even like to watch a show or a video, or even listen to music while they're on the treadmill. Keeps them more motivated. But you can check out some of the links below if you're interested in possibly purchasing one of those. Of course, we always want to check with our doctor to see what exercise is appropriate for us. But for most people, walking is very safe, and it can really benefit us in many ways. So I hope you're feeling motivated to get started and maintain a walking routine. And I hope to see you in the next video, where we'll discuss another way we can improve our health.